Welcome back, everyone, to another incredible episode of Chat with Dan here. Now, for today, what can I say? We're starting out the week in an epic, super badass way because I'm having here the incredible, amazing, the badass, the superstar, the legendary, the one and only, the incredible Mimi. Mimi, how are you today?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I mean, what can I say? What better way to have an incredible, super badass week than to be chatting with someone as badass as you? You know what I mean? Epic. Now, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, follow, helps a lot. But also, on the description below, you're gonna find all of Mimi's social media. Let's follow her, and let's discover why she's super badass. Now, without further more, let's jump in here. So, I want to start this whole conversation by throwing out the first question, which is how the whole how your what initially drew you to acting in the first place? Was there a specific moment or performance that solidified your passion for it?
Um, I think as a child, it's something I've always wanted to do. That was a long time ago, so I don't really remember, but I kind of started doing it more seriously as an adult now that I have more time to do it. I think the curiosity started. I love horror movies and I watched a lot of them, and I was curious to see how they're made and like the behind the scenes of things. So that's more what I'm drawn to.
That is cool. I love it. I can see that you love horror because in the background you have a jigsaw.
Yeah, so I actually painted these.
You painted them? That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
That's like badass level 5.
Yeah, my apartment looks like Halloween year round. Apologies for that.
Don't worry. I think your dog is saying like preach. Yeah, I agree on that.
Yeah.
Totally agree on that.
Yeah.
Moving on here. As an actor, you often, have to inhabit the lives of various characters. So, how do you approach stepping into a new role, and what techniques do you use to make the character feel authentic?
Good question. I don't have a specific uh thing that I do, but I do like to read the script over and over and over a million times. I find that just helps me just get into the feel of what the vibe is and try to connect with the character in that way.
That is pretty cool.
Mhm.
I mean, it's a whole other process, right? That besides just learning your lines and good to go, as some people
Yeah.
might think. And I find that really incredible whenever you are, yeah, like whenever you're able to create this character in this fictional world. But it's fun, but it's interesting how once we see it, we can get relatable to that character, even though that we
Mhm.
know that it's not real.
Yes.
Something about it kind of connects with us somehow, and then we kind of feel relatable to it. And I think that is sometimes what we want, or inconsistently we will be doing it, that we want to feel relatable as the characters
Mhm.
we are seeing in any film somehow. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Spot on.
There you go. That is pretty cool. I like it. And tell me, so let's say, you got the role, you're good to go. Is there like a specific technique or method that kind of puts your, yeah, like puts you focus to it so you can perform this character? Like, is there anything going on there before jumping in on stage or on set before doing
I
it?
like to listen to music that I feel would kind of match the character, match like the ambience of the vibe. So, if it's like a comedy, I'd listen to more like happy, upbeat music. If it's like a darker scene, then just I find just the music helps to kind of get me mentally in that place.
Mhm, mhm.
But yeah.
Okay, what would you say that is your top 5 songs right now?
Oh my God, good question. I'm I don't know. I'm kind of all over the place, and it really depends on what the scene is at the time. I often will just go on Spotify and just kind of type what the vibe is and kind of look at other people's playlists. So, yeah.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll take that for sure. Now, at this point with your whole acting career, what has been the most bizarre or unexpected thing that ever happened to you either on stage or on set?
Okay. So, have you heard of the movie called Fat Man with Mel Gibson? Just kind of like a darker Christmas movie.
Mm-hmm.
Came out. couple years. Okay. So I was casted as an elf for that movie, but I wasn't told, I didn't know what the movie was about, what the vibe was. I didn't know any of that. They told me you're playing an elf, show up with hair and makeup and go from there. So in my head, I thought it was a Christmas movie. So I showed up, curly hair, rosy cheeks, all of that. And I got to the makeup chair, and the makeup artist was like, "Oh, we need to take all of this off." So I was like, "Oh, okay." Like I thought maybe they just had their own thing that they wanted to do. So I'm sitting in the makeup chair, and then she brings out this like gray paste and starts to put it on my face and have like darker eyes and all of that. So I'm like, what am I getting myself into? Like, this is a really weird makeup for an elf. And then I got walked to wardrobe, and the wardrobe person asked me, they're like, "Oh, did they brief you on the scene today?" I was like, "No, no idea." And they're like, "Yeah, you're gonna be running away from a killer." So that was a little unexpected because I was expecting a happy Christmas movie, and it's
Hmm.
really not. But yeah,
I mean, it's the way it is, right?
yeah,
But like,
it
how
was a
was the
lot
whole
of fun.
yeah,
Yeah.
and like, how was the whole experience to it? Like, once you were there doing the whole scene, yeah, like, how you felt after it, let's say.
Oh, it was so much fun. Like a lot more fun than I think if it was just like a happy elf type of movie, but I had fun. It was fun to see the special effects of like gunshots and how that's done. I had never seen that before, so it's a cool first experience for me.
That is cool. I like it. Badass level 15, 12, 15.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now, acting can be, emotionally demanding, right? So, how do you maintain a balance between fully immersing yourself in a role and taking care of your mental and emotional well-being?
Um, I like to think I can disconnect from the character pretty well if I'm not on set. But when I'm at home, I just make sure to spend a lot of time with friends, family, my dog, as you heard. But no, I think I'm able to disconnect pretty well. Like get like on my way to set, I'll kind of put myself into it, and like the drive home is kind of when I disconnect. But once I'm home, it's completely separate. So
And like, has it ever happened to you that, let's say you go on set, shoot the scene, everything good to go, you go home, and then have you ever had these moments in which you are totally relaxing and you're like, I can't believe that that a few hours ago I was doing my thing, fully, working on my dream, and now just chilling on watching
yeah,
TV and having a
yeah,
relaxing time.
yeah, it happens. It's a little surreal at times, but
All right,
I'm really grateful I get to do it. So
there you go. Now, if you could play any either historical figure, fictional character, or you know what, let's go big, even an animal. Who would it
um
be and why?
I don't know if this counts, but I really love like sirens, mermaids, like that type of character. I think that would be a lot of fun. Um, but also on the flip side, I really love like all the Disney princesses. So I think being a princess would be a lot of fun as well, which is like completely different from what I'm doing now. But yeah.
I mean, and that is like the whole experience, right? The fact when you were able to be kind of flexible and to be in different type of genres, regarding, I mean, you can focus specifically like in one genre, but I think at the same time it's kind of great for you to have the chance to play with multiple, because we will see it sometimes, with A-list actors even that they stuck in a role for 10, 15 years, and then whenever we will see them in another project, it's kind of difficult, for you to see
Hmm.
it because you were used to seeing it in a certain way. So I get it
Yes.
that it's kind of good for being kind of I mean we are seeing it now with Robert Downey Jr. He was from Iron Man,
Hmm.
and then a couple of years later we see him in Oppenheimer, and at least to me it was incredible to see, like, a
Yeah.
couple of years ago he was Iron Man, and now he's in a totally different type of genre doing this incredible role, and I think he even won an Oscar to it, right?
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's cool. Now, if you were, let's say that if you were stranded on a desert island and could only bring three movies to watch for the rest of your life, tell me, what would they be?
I really love White Chicks. If you've seen that, the comedy.
Of course.
I love the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, and my favorite horror is Jennifer's Body. So probably those three. So very
Those
three
three.
different things.
I'll take it. I'll take it for sure. Sounds cool. Sounds cool. Interesting mix, let's say. Yeah. And if you could create a dream ensemble cast for a movie, who would it be in it? And what kind of movie would be?
I would love to see a like a Johnny Depp, Woody Harrelson movie, and maybe like a drama or like a crime type movie if they were playing like detectives. I think they would play well together.
Hmm. And what do you think that would be the title for it?
Ah, that's a good question. I don't know. What would you put?
We could call it. So we got Johnny Depp to it, and who else?
Woody Harrelson. No, they're both
Mm,
very serious actors, but like can put that kind of comedic twist to it.
mm-hmm. So maybe like a mix between like a dark comedy somehow, perhaps?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, okay. So something between the lines, I'm imagining it. Something between Pirates of the Caribbean and Sweetie Todd,
yeah,
without the musical part, of
yeah.
course.
Without the singing.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a hard one.
Hmm. And you know what? We could give it a splash of Donnie Brasco on that
Mhm,
film.
mhm.
Oh, gee. Oh, sheesh. I don't know.
We'll think about it.
Um,
Get back to it.
we'll think about it. Yeah, yeah. We'll definitely be having a conversation to that at some point. Sounds like a plan. All right. And if your life was turned into a movie, which actor would you want to play you and why?
Um, I think maybe Blake Lively. I feel like she has good range, and I feel like she connects to like pretty much every character that she plays. So yeah, Blake Lively.
And I'm not giving up. What would be the title of that film?
Oh my God. I don't know. I'll have to circle back to that.
We could call it. We could call it the. All right. So yeah, we could either call it the. So I gotta. Yeah. So the first title I have is The Adventures of Mimi. But then I was like, that sounds like that sounds like a Pixar film.
It could be a Pixar
So
film. They
yeah,
did
Pixar
like a
film.
cartoon animated.
Yeah, yeah. Or I mean, I don't know, but another thing that happened with me would be like uh at the fort no, the what was it again? Like the fortunate events,
Oh, a series of unfortunate events.
something like
Yeah.
that. I mean, maybe I'm, like a something like that. What do you think?
Yeah, I like it.
Sounds like a plan. All right. Now, in the age of streaming platforms and binge watching, like what's your guilt pleasure TV show or movie that you could watch over and over and over again?
I really love the American Horror Story series. That's one that I wouldn't call it a guilty pleasure because it is really good, but that's one that I've watched from beginning to end a dozen times. So, and I'll still rewatch it to this day. So,
How many seasons they have? Like three?
no, no, there's over 10 now.
You kidding me?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a lot.
Wow. Wow, okay. I mean, the
It's
last
great
one
to
I
binge watch. Yeah.
yeah, totally. I mean, the last one I saw was when Lady Gaga was on it.
Okay, so that's the fifth one.
Fifth one. There you go. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Interesting. I never knew that they had like so many seasons now. I thought they were like I don't know, like around three, four, five, maybe.
No, I think there's 12 now, if I'm not
12 now.
mistaken. Give it
I
a
mean,
try.
mostly their episodes are not very long, right? They're like around the realm between 30-ish something, right?
I think, yeah, about 45 minutes, I would say.
45, right?
Yeah.
Huh. All right, sounds like a plan.
Yeah,
And
you have something to binge watch now. So,
I mean, to be honest, there was a time that I didn't quite like watching horror stuff. The reason
fair.
is because when I finished watching, right? And then I will go to bed or I will be doing something else on my own, then I will start to say like the decisions yeah, like the decisions that I saw on the film or TV show, like the ones that like the main character did. Like, what would you
Mhm.
did that? You could have done this, 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 and that, or I get like sometimes frustrated for like this typical scene, right? That they're being chased and they're not running at all, or they're just
Mhm.
suddenly, they're like suddenly falling over into everything, and I'm like, why?
They trip and then they look behind them instead of
Yeah,
just,
yeah. And they
yeah.
keep tripping over, and then they have the keys for the car, and then they just drop it, and I'm like, oh, like this type of stuff. But there was
Yeah.
one film that kind of got me hooked again into the whole horror films, which was Babadook. I don't know if you have seen it.
What's it called?
Babadook,
Babadook. Yeah, that's a good one.
epic one. When I watched that, I was like, okay, this is amazing because I mean, spoiler alert, but during the whole film, you don't really see the monster. You know what I mean? You don't quite seeing it. It's all psychological,
Yeah.
and that got me so hooked to it. I was like, okay, this is incredible because like those type of films, whenever they focus more a little bit on the psychological stuff instead of the gore.
Hmm.
At least to
Yeah.
me, that's something that I do appreciate more. At least it gives like a little bit more depth to the story, and I love
Yeah.
whenever there's like a really
A
intense
good story.
story. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Hmm.
So yeah,
I
that was
agree.
one. But But yeah, but we'll see. I might watch that one, the whole American Horror Story at some point. We'll see what
Mhm.
happens. Um, but tell me, like acting, often involves a lot of vulnerability and putting yourself out there, right? So how do you handle criticism and rejection in such a competitive industry?
I did a lot of auditions when I was younger and I guess took the rejection a little harder, but I've done so many auditions that I didn't get that it's kind of just routine now. I do the audition and then I kind of move on already. And if I don't hear from it, that's okay. If it's not meant for me, it's not meant for me. So just move on to the next project.
I mean, it's challenging, right? From whenever I mean, nobody likes being rejected,
No,
So, and those yeah like those first moments you have when you were handling that side of thing, like how were you able to get back up, like how was your whole process until yeah, like how was your whole process for you to start to be like, you know what, this is just the way it is, so
I think it's just something else would just come along and then the focus was on that. So if I didn't get something, the something else is gonna come along and just focus on that. I don't want to like put my energy into something that is not meant for me. So
totally like it. And let's say that one day I call you and I tell you that I want to become an actor. Now
mhm.
here's the thing, zero experience. So based on what you know, what do you think that would be important for me before jumping into this career?
Wow, that's a really good question. I would just say don't give up. If it's something that you enjoy doing and want to do it, try to get as much experience as you can. Not every job is going to be big. I did a lot of background work before I landed like a actual speaking part. For years, I did background, but it was still a lot of fun. I still enjoyed being on set. I would do it for free. Like it's just I really love the environment, and I'm just really grateful now that I get to actually have speaking roles and kind of more advance into the career of things. But yeah, advice is just don't give up. Like if you really enjoy doing it, just keep doing
I'll tell you what, if I ever become an actor, I'll be
it.
mentioning you in my thank you speech at some point.
Oh, thank you.
Sounds like a plan. And tell me, like, what is the number one thing or couple of things you like the most about doing horror films?
Um, the blood. like the gore part of it, I find really, really cool to see the process of the makeup or the prosthetics. Um, and just seeing like the aftermath of it, because we're on set and it's like, okay, action, you do your thing, and then we're all laughing or enjoying our time, even in full blood costume. So it just makes a very serious, scary thing just so not serious, like off camera, I guess. But it's really cool to see how everything comes together after.
One time I interviewed an actress that she specializes in creature work
Oh,
for,
okay.
horror
Yeah.
films, video games, things like that. So she was telling me that it happened a few times now that she will be, all with costume, with the all scary costume as a creature, the monster, whatever.
Mhm.
And she will love to see the people reactions whenever she will be, on full costume but drinking
Mhm.
coffee.
Yeah, because you're just doing a normal day-to-day thing,
you know, like
Yeah.
fully costume it and then be like, you know what? Let's have some lunch after it,
Yeah.
and like everybody on set will be like, some people
Yeah.
will be actually like, like how bizarre it is that I'm watching a
Yeah.
monster tweeting,
Yeah.
or doing things like that. So, and yeah, and she was telling me that she loved that. That is such a cool experience, and
Mhm.
also I have found that for some people that I've interviewed who have done horror films that the whole vibe to it, as you were mentioning, it is like super. It's a total opposite, as some people might think that because it's horror has to
Yeah.
be in a specific to it and a specific type of vibe. But most of the times that I've speaking with them, they will be telling me that no, that is a totally opposite. That sometimes there will be even music involved between takes.
Yeah.
Tell me, like, if you weren't an actor, what career path do you think you would have pursued and why?
Well, I'm still trying to make acting my career. So technically, right now I'm working in HR. So I have an office job.
Okay.
So I guess
HR.
that's what I would be doing because that's what I am doing. But the goal is to make acting
Totally.
the main thing. So
Totally.
still
And
hoping for that.
it's the way it is. I mean, you know, we all have to eat, we all have bills to pay,
Exactly.
and it's a
I,
working process. And I think it's even like more badass when you're able to sustain yourself in a job and then on your free time be able to work on your dream,
yeah.
most people, let's face it, whenever they finish their shift, they're like, I'm going home, relax and do something else, but the fact that you're able to be like, I'm done with my job today. I'm gonna focus on my
Mhm.
passion that I want to achieve
Yeah.
one day. So
That's exactly how it is.
yeah, I like it. And you know what? My last question, so we can all enjoy and relax after a couple of incredible, amazing questions here and there. Tell me, what do you think that could be the best title for this episode?
Love what you do.
There you go.
Love what you do.
Love what you
Yeah.
do. Sounds
Love what
sounds
you
like a
do.
plan to me. I love it. You know what? At the end, what can I say? It's really cool what you do. It's incredible. It's super badass, as I was saying. I mean, we all know that it's difficult, specifically to create something from scratch, basically. But hey, you are making it happen. You are showing up. You are getting results, and I think that is the most awesome part to it. That you are
Mhm.
showing that it is possible. And
Yeah.
and I mean, I'm sure that our next conversation will be about the multiple projects you've been here and there, because great things happen
Hopefully.
to those who are honest by heart. So
Yeah, I like that.
sounds like a plan. And again, Mimi, thank you so much for making this happen. I also want to thank those who stayed this whole episode. Thanks so much. Let us know what you think in the comments below. And also, in the description below, you're going to find all of Mimi's social media. Let's follow her and let's make her viral. Hashtag Team Mimi. And again, thank you for making this happen. Keep shining out there. Keep rocking. And I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. This was
Uh,
fun.
all right.